Hey folks, Duke CT here, back once again, and link in the description for my latest pay-per-view review, and it's TNA Sacrifice. Hope you like it, and all that good stuff. But anyway, let's continue on to the topic at hand. This is a video response to LV54's latest video. Alberto Del Rio, not in the main, shouldn't be main eventing against John Cena, which I completely agree with. And you know why? It is because Alberto Del Rio has no connection with the WWE universe, the fans. Same thing, he's been pushed too fast. He was pushed too fast. Same thing happened to Sheamus. Same thing happened to Jack Swagger. Same thing happened to CM Punk. These guys just going into the main event and basically hope they'll hopefully get over and everything else. And when you have this problem, I mean, when you have this problem, this young talent, which are somehow they are established, but you know who their characters are, their motivations, and everything else, and all that good stuff. I get that you have that some kind of motivation, but but they don't have that same connection with the WWE. I mean, fans, universe, or what have you. Alberto Del Rio does not have that yet. To me, he should, personally, I thought he should have won the King of the Ring. I think that would have been a perfect way to be able to elevate him and not have him in the Royal Rumble and what have you. I'm sure he had a pretty good match with Edge at WrestleMania and everything else, but I just don't think he's ready for that prime time. Even though he has the experience and he's been around the world and everything else, people just know him as this guy. I mean, he should be down in the mid-card. I mean, he should be like that Macho Man. Like I said about Macho Man, he was a big deal as well. That sort of thing. He was built. He faced the champion. He won the match by countout, but he beat Hulk Hogan. Macho Man. I told you the story last I think a couple videos ago. But Macho Man's first World Heavyweight Championship, a WWF title match. He didn't win the title, but he won by countout. He got himself over with the fans as a hated heel, and he basically took down Hogan. Of course, Hogan won the rematch, what have you. But he kept working and working. People, the crowd despised him and everything else. And soon he won the Intercontinental Championship. Like, it wasn't a downgrade. This guy actually got himself over enough to win win a championship belt, which was actually a highly competitive championship belt, and everything else. That's what I think Del Rio should be. A guy who comes close to championship glory, but ultimately was like, it makes a mid-card belt, makes a mid-card belt define who he is. A crafty, underhanded guy, who he smiles on one hand, but yet he's not, he'll go to not dirty route and everything else. He's rich and everything else. He can get loyal subordinates or what have you to help him win, but even still, he still can bring it in the ring. I'm not saying he's Macho Man or anything else. No, not like that. But you have to establish him. You have to know. You have to get him accustomed, like for the next 2, 3, or 4 years, have him connect with the WWE fans universe as like someone to cheer for, or someone to boo against, someone people you can actually like a connection, which is sadly the WWE is lacking in any of the stars. Morrison has connection. Miz, how many people call him a mid-carder? He has a connection with these fans, and that's the reason why when Miz, when Alex Riley turned face and knocked out Miz, the crowd erupted and there was a Riley chant because he has a connection with these fans. Morrison has a connection with these fans. R-Truth has a connection with these fans. There's a lot of people who have a connection to these guys. Christian has a connection. Orton has a connection. Cena, for all the cheers and boos, he has a connection. They need to have connections. They've been there for a long time. They know who these guys are. They know the connection and everything else. Sheamus is still a blank slate. He's been a 2-time champion, but the way they presented him when he was champion, he looked like basically a fluke and an undeserving champion. Okay, well, that's what he is, but you, that's the person you have to really. Sheamus really needed something like what happened to Macho Man. Like, he wins, like, he wins it by underhanded means, but, he doesn't win the championship belt. That would have been a lot more interesting. If Sheamus would have lost the tables match or something by what happened to Fluke and everything else, he tries to shake hands with Cena. Bam! He hits the bro kick, knocks Cena out, and takes the championship belt, his WWE title, and everything else. Saying if Cena wants the belt back, he can come and get it and what have you. And have him chase the championship. And Cena, even though he's recognized as the champion, you have him face the belt, like, you have him, have Cena basically, face him and everything else. Because Cena is that, like, upstanding moral guy saying, you can't do this to me. I'm going to fight you. You want to shot this belt, fine. You might have my belt, but you're not a champion in my eyes. Build that thing up at Royal Rumble, what have you. Have him lose. But have him lose with some, dignity and everything else. And keep it like, he's good, but he's not good enough. Just have him seasoned and everything else. And wait for it. And wait and wait and wait. Then you spring him on the, make him put in the main event. Which is, sadly, is lacking, these days. Sheamus should have been that character. Sheamus could have been that guy to basically they needed a season. I mean, personally, I wouldn't have put him that two-time WWE champion because he was a background character, not really the forefront, because I think champions should always be forefront. But, they really ruined him. And they are in the same position to do the same thing with Alberto Del Rio. Alberto Del Rio is basically he would probably turn to a background character. Sadly, what happened to Miz? He became a background character to Cena and The Rock. I shudder what would happen to him now because Cena has looked nigh indestructible, and R-Truth is probably one of the most interesting people at this point. Roberto Del Rio, to me, is not ready to face him, and hopefully he goes in this feud with Big Show. It'd be nice, a nice feud with the Big Show for a while, keep him occupied, then build him up to face Cena or Morrison and everything else. That would be a better choice, a better way to make him look more over, which I think the WWE is smart enough to realize that. Because if they actually go through with him at SummerSlam and then actually winning, there will be the same problem with him as Sheamus, the Sheamus thing all over again. It will be just the same thing. And they're like, wow, man, Alberto Del Rio is good and all, but it's not getting over. What do we do? Quick, we'll put him in the back. We have to put we'll publicize The Rock and Cena and keep the fans interested in that instead of our champion, since he's now purely over. Then why did you put the belt on him in the first place? Because you're trying to build new stars. Anyway, that's just my opinion and all that good stuff. Anyway, that's all I have to say, folks. Dixie Tia. Peace, love. I will see y'all when I see y'all. That's it. And happy pre-Memorial Day and everything else. And hope you have a safe and happy Memorial Day weekend. Peace.